So, as most of you guys know, I live in a state that salt is everywhere in the wintertime, and I live in the great state of Minnesota. And so, this is the Off-Road Evolution Quarter Pounder, and this is by far my favorite bumper I've ever seen or ever worked on. Or this is the one bumper I know that can take a beating and it's not going to damage. I mean, this is the quarter pounder because, in my mind, it weighs a ton, and they use quarter-inch steel the entire way through. Now they have upgraded, and you can use aluminum now, but at the time they just had steel. So I've had this thing on since 2016, and just recently, last week, I actually got most of the rust off. I took it all apart, and then I went through, grinded the rust off that I could, and went through with a black Ace Rust Stop black satin and covered all the spots up. And honestly, it looks like the same exact color. Now, this bumper does come powder coated straight from Off-Road Evolution, but rust will always find a way through. So when it comes to the quality of this build, I mean, the welds are gorgeous. You can tell a lot about a company by the kind of welds they do. And if this is a machine, so be it. But this does not look like a machine. This looks like it was done by a person, and I am floored by the way that these welds look. I mean, you want to talk about perfect beads. That is some skill. So, a little bit about the bumper. It comes in two parts. It comes with the lower portion, and then you can also get the stinger, which is this top guy. And I wanted the stinger. It has a place for a winch, but I do not have a winch yet. It has little T-bars here for a high lift jack. It has, I mean, this thing is through and through solid. I guess the only downside I think about it is these bolts up here, these top three bolts on either side, and you can see them on both sides. You have to drill in yourself, which I don't know. I got this from North Ridge 4x4. First off, amazing company. Customer service is amazing. The shipping is amazing. If you have anything wrong with your package, they will actually send you whatever you need. Like, for example, I didn't get these 6 bolts, and they next day delivered them to me. When I started looking at other people's pictures, I'm like, man, I'm missing something. But yeah, other than that, the bolts that this company uses, let me just get some bolts out, are actually super good. They're grade A bolts, 2 washers, straight through nylocks on the end. I was thoroughly amazed by them. The nice thing is that this actually bolts on to your existing part of the frame, and that was a big thing for me. Some bumpers you need to weld, but this bumper bolted right on there. You can see how deep the bolts are going through both sides. They actually have you move a couple things. This is for a Rubicon. If you have a sway bar disconnect, this is actually its original mounting place. And then you have to buy a part from Off-Road Evolution, which is a little bracket back there that actually moves your sway bar disconnect farther back. This makes it easier to get a winch. I wanted a bumper that I could get a winch in, that have it sank in. I didn't want one sticking up blocking half my grill. I know it's dirty, and I apologize for not washing my Jeep, but just got home from work. So when I do get a winch, I will have to cut off the ends over there so I can squeeze a winch through there. I'm debating whether to go with Warren or Schmitty-built. I don't know. Anyways, this is more about the bumper. They do have D-ring clasps that you can squeeze in between here. I had some D-rings on there. They looked good, but trying to find some black ones that don't chip when it hits a rock or the salt doesn't destroy is pretty tough. So I actually took the D-rings off. It's not that bad of a look. But other than that, the reason why you see the zip ties down there is because the factory fog light wiring. I don't have a, I was going to I'd like to put a light bar or some kind of spotlights around this bumper, maybe on this side or that side of the winch, when I do eventually get one. And then just plug it into the factory fog light harness. Well, anyways, absolutely great product in my mind. A decent price for a bumper that I know that if I hit a deer, the deer will either go straight underneath my car or up and over. I'm just going to plow through it. Again, thoroughly impressed by this bumper. I get compliments on it all the time. The build quality is outstanding. I'd highly recommend one for the Jeep. Let me just back it up here and you can see the full force of it. It's not too bad of a stinger. It does stick out a little bit, but you can see the top of the bumper through the driver's seat. Just come in here real quick. So when I'm driving, that's about what I see. A little front part, which actually makes it super easy for parking. But other than that, that's the quick bumper walkthrough. And we can go through the rest of the Jeep a little bit later, but figure let you guys know there's not a whole bunch of reviews on the Off-Road Evolution quarter pounder. If you are thinking about getting one, I would definitely pull the trigger. I don't know about the aluminum one, but from what I can see from this build quality, this is the only bumper I will probably have on this Jeep, just because, I mean, it's solid. There isn't one single place they left out. They thought of everything, and it's built tough. This will be my Jeep the entire time I have my Jeep, and if I get a new Jeep or a JL, then I will probably honestly go back to the same bumper. Anyways, thanks guys.